Hey everybody, and welcome to Ghost Historia, the channel dedicated to the band Ghost, covering news, lore, and theories. And in this video, let's go over everything we know about Papa 5 Perpetua. Alright, as we see here on the screen, this image is the only one we have of what we think is Papa 5. So this was revealed to us alongside the announcement of the world tour for this year 2025. They revealed all this back in November of 2024. But the true start, I believe, when they started to really point us to Papa 5 is last summer's Right Here, Right Now concert film, but it also had, a continuation of the story from like the chapters that they've been telling in the webisodes or the YouTube videos. Even to the logo right here itself, with the crucifix clearly pointing to the 5 on the clock, and obviously throughout this concert film, it's Papa 4. Of course, he was Cardinal. Now he's Papa Emeritus the Fourth. He was just kind of dreading the entire night, thinking that he was either going to die or something was going to happen, because something tragic like that always does happen at the point where there's going to be an introduction of a new papa. So he was just kind of anticipating that, but actually they threw a curveball a little bit. It was actually Sister Imperator that dies throughout the events of this movie, and not Papa Emeritus the Fourth. He actually gets a promotion to Frater Imperator, which means stands for Brother Imperator. Now he's going to be kind of like the overseer of the clergy as we await this new Papa 5. Um, During the end credit scene of this movie is when we really get the tease of it. You pretty much have the new Don Frater Imperator there standing with the ghost of the now Sister Imperator, Papa on the Hill, and the Ghoul twins, and they have we have Papa 5. You see the silhouette. That's pretty much the only confirmed image we have right now. It's just the silhouette behind the door, and he can't get the door open. And I say he because I know there have been some rumors that it's a female. And yes, back in 2022, when asked the question to Tobias Forge if he ever could see ghosts being having a lady as a lead singer, and he said sure, why not. But I who knows what the maybe in the future, but at the moment I don't think that's going to be the case. And just with that end credit scene itself, don't forget that the ghost of Sister Imperator said he is here, implying male. Said the same thing when it was Cardinal at the time walking through those same doors. So yes, they could always throw us another curveball and it is a female, but I think they're gonna go with what they established in that end credit scene. Um, so going on from that, we also find out in Right Here, Right Now that his two biological parents are Papa Nihil and Sister Imperator. Yet they also kind of tease in some quick little flashback imagery that he could be a twin. So it seems that Frater Imperator has a twin, and that's who I'm currently theorizing is going to be Papa 5 walking through the door. It's going to be the long lost twin. But let's go back to how did we even get to the name Papa 5 now, like Papa 5 Perpetua? That came recently with this poster to the Back to the Beginning show, which is going to be the final show for Ozzy Osbourne. He's even going to play alongside the original members of Black Sabbath, so it's going to be a big show. Incredible bands right there, anything from Metallica, Slayer, Pantera. But if you go down in the finer print there where it says additional performances from, so these are individual performers from other bands, not bringing along the full band, but it's just those particular performers. And representing Ghost, interestingly enough, it says Papa 5 Perpetua. So that's the first time we actually saw it fully written out. but it's not Emeritus, it's Perpetua. And when you look it up, it's Latin for, eternity, everlasting. And that takes me back to right here, right now from last summer. Even as if you go back to just the trailer, go back and watch the trailer and listen to the voiceover. That it's really used a lot now that we kind of know more information now, months later. I like that we can go back and reinterpret things. But there was even a line in that trailer where it's like you don't want to miss out on. There's a long pause, and then it says eternity, and it's like a shot where it's focused on there's like a light on the eyes of Papa 4. Honestly, similar to how this is really the only image we think we have of Papa 5 is right here, like the eyes. Um, so yeah, you can go back and kind of find clues of times where they've used the word eternity, and even with the voiceover it continued. This is not a story of death, but one of life. And yeah, Papa 4 didn't die. He got the promotion Sister Imperator did, um, but he didn't. So I think there's just a lot in there that's already being teased. I mean, who knows? Who knows what that the whole hot air balloon right there in the poster that we're looking at. I mean, is that anything now we can look at and be like, is that a clue to Papa 5? How it's more skeletal, just like this one right here. But yeah, that's the biggest revelation. So that's my current theory, is that it is going to be the twin brother to Frater Imperator. That's going to be the new Papa walking through the door whenever he can get it open. But actually, go back even further. It was one of the first chapter videos that they did. I don't know exactly what number, but if you remember when Sister Imperator is pleading the case to Papa Nihil of why Cardinal Copia is the man for the job at the moment, she says he holds the esteemed honor of second most employee of the month awards, which is very interesting. But obviously at the time, I mean, this was going on years ago, 5-6 years ago. This is before the prequel, so we didn't even know that he was officially part of the bloodline, because right here, Papa Nihil's like, he's not even part of the bloodline. We kind of thought that all his children were just Papa 1, 2, 3. We did not know that he was part of the bloodline officially, let alone that, as right here, right now, finally teased, he might have a twin out there, a long lost twin. And maybe not too lost, because it could be that that's who did hold the most employee of the month awards. Obviously, at the time, we would have thought, oh, maybe they meant either Papa 1, 2, or 3. One of those was the one to hold the most employee of the month awards. But now it's completely recontextualized, and I believe it was planted like this early in advance. And that's what I love about this lore in general, is this just like, I mean, what other band kind of has a story like this, and even as quirky at times? But I love that we can go back years later with new information, and it recontextualizes, different things. You see how seeds were planted so long before in the past, and that you're finally seeing the fruits of, years and years later. So I do believe that Papa 5 is going to be the one who did, have the most employee of the month awards. And also very significant that I think they also quickly flashed like a Romulus and Remus. We'll get it, fully get into this in another video. But during the right here, right now, as you're seeing, the images of a possible, had twins from Sister Imperator, that he could be a twin. They even quickly showed images of Romulus and Remus. How does that story now potentially tie into both of them? It could be that, the Papa 5 is the better one in a way, you can say. As we'll dive more into in a different video about how that story could relate to both of them, but we're just fascinated that we can do that. But yeah, I do think it's going to be the twin. He is going to be the one that did have the most Employee of the Month awards, and I believe, as teased with the name Eternity Everlasting, I think it's going to be the last one. I currently do believe that it's going to be the last major like character shakeup to who the front man of Ghost is for at least the foreseeable future. I mean, look here at Freighter Imperator started as Cardinal Copia. He lasted 2 album cycles, like 2 full album cycles. One as Cardinal Copia, then Papa Emeritus the fourth, and now he's actually still going to stick around. Obviously, a different role. He's now going to be more at you know there in the clergy, kind of behind the desk. So I guess we're going to see how he likes that position. So he's not front and center, but he's still around, and he's actually going to be kind of like the overseer, kind of like how Sister Imperator was. Now that's going to be his role. So look at that. The times of the Papa lasting only 1 album cycle, those are kind of gone. Starting with Cardinal Copia, he had 2. So Papa 5 at least has to have 2, but I think it's going to be, who knows? This could be the last time that we do have like a major change. So I think we're on the cusp of, not only has this story and the lore already been exciting, but there's just so much more to come, and I think this year is just gonna expand that by a lot. I mean, we're just a week or 2 away from them getting comic books, the Sister Imperator comic books. I'll fully give a preview in an upcoming video on issues, the first 3 issues. We have some information on the 3 of those. So it's going to be the backstory of Sister Imperator. How much is it going to tell us about Papa 5? But what else is it going to reveal? So there's going to be an exciting year for Ghost fans and for people that like the story of Ghost, which is kind of why I made this channel. I love that we just have so much that we can dive into, so much potential. And yeah, it's exciting times ahead. We have not only the launch of the comic book on March 5th, but I also think, in 5, there's the number 5, March 5th. 5 is coming, Papa 5. Also on March 5th is going to be a new interview of Tobias Forge. After months and months, he's finally doing a new interview that's also set to go live March 5th. He has it with Overdrive, and obviously we're going to cover all of that when it happens. So let's see. Does March 5th give us not just comic with new story that we can dive into? Is it also going to be where he may be in an interview, reveals the upcoming album? So let's wait and see. But I'm very excited to go on this journey with you guys, and hopefully, you guys will enjoy it as well. We did, as we just passed Valentine's Day recently, they did have this interesting little thing where if you entered some information, it would give you out, kind of like some Valentine's Day cards in return. You didn't really know what you were going to get. And most of them were like lyrics from songs and things of that sort. They would tell you in the bottom left, inspired by either the song or who said it. And interestingly, there's 2 of them that, at least that I've seen, kind of pertain to Papa 5. There was this one here where it kind of seemed to have lyrics from a song we've never heard. It says, "Since I met you, I've been quelling my urges to burst." And it says, "Inspired by Papa 5 Perpetua." And then over here, it actually says on the right, this one says, "Papa 5 wants us to come together." So those 2, interestingly enough, did reference Papa 5. And that all led to this a playlist on Spotify that was also called 5 is coming, just like the image that they had teased earlier. And then when you looked at the track listing, it seemed to kind of just be jumbled together, no rhyme or reason. But obviously people figured out, if you take the first letter of every song title, you get the word satanized. Where else did we hear that word? During, not the trailer for the world tour, because it was part of the chapter 18, but you know what I mean. Still the chapter 18 video, when Papa 5 still can't open the door. They're like, "Well, just announce the tour," and he's like, "The tour," and the voiceover kicks in announcing the tour. They don't they redact the name of the tour, but I think it's the Satanized tour. The first time they redact it, you can clearly hear that the first word starts with an S before they kind of bleep it out. And then they redact it again. That time you don't hear the S, they completely just bleep it out. But at the very end of the video, he says, the voiceover says something along the lines of, "You don't want to miss out on this satanized shindig." So there you go. The word was used there. And I believe they did a clever thing where they actually did throw in the word in the video, just in a spot where once you heard it in that spot, you're not going to correlate with it actually being the word that they were trying to redact before, even though it was. And I only really feel confident about that because that same word came up here in the Spotify playlist. So I think clever little thing they did there where the Satanized Shindig is just the Satanized tour. So I don't think it's the name of the album. I think it's going to be the name of the tour. The albums always have, interesting, Latin names, but I believe it's going to be the name of the tour, the Satanized tour. But that's all I have for this video. Like I said, very excited to see where we go from here. But thank you for watching this video. I have many more videos to come. We have a look at the upcoming comic books coming and some other videos in the works. And of course, on March 5th, we're going to dive into and dissect everything that they reveal that day. We're going to go through the comic completely, and then we're also going to go through that interview completely. So hopefully we get that announcement of a new album. But thank you for watching this video, and I will catch you guys in the next video.